Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Jeremy Chip Menard, and what we have here is going to be a marathon series, which is going to focus on the win that I had in the Sunday Million recently for $180,000 after a chop heads up. It's a pretty long tournament, and you guys are just going to have to bear with me as we get through this whole video. There should be a lot of important and good topics to discuss that'll come up during the length of this series. So I hope you enjoy everything, and without further ado, let's just get it started here. What we have here is the new DragtheBar hand history replayer. Pretty excited to try it out. This is the first video I've used it for, so we'll see how it works out. It does look pretty nice with the graphics and all. Usually I'm in the middle of the table, so it's going to be a little bit weird, me getting used to the fact that I've been put at the space where I actually was at the table on this replayer. My strategy early on in these tournaments, I don't think any of my videos really focus on the early stages of the tournaments just because a lot of this stuff is kind of cut and dry. But what I really do is I play a little bit tighter for the most part, and mainly play the premium hands, and also I'm going to be looking to see a lot of flops with suited connectors and small pairs, and you know, the kind of hands where you can flop a big hand against somebody that may have an overpair that doesn't know how to fold it or just isn't willing to fold it, or just top pair, top kicker type hand. And so we're just looking to really make some big hands here and get paid off. See if we can get our stack growing. This tournament is a $500 buy-in. It's basically the same thing as the 750K that runs every Sunday on Full Tilt, which has a $200 buy-in, but instead it's the $500 buy-in. They run one time a month on Full Tilt, and they give you a little bit more chips to start off with, so it's a more deep stacked style poker. So it's a lot more fun to play, and it definitely does help to give the better players a little bit more of an edge because they have a lot more chips to do what they want with them. And if they do get into some rough spots and get cooler to whatnot, they can probably still make it work. We do actually have a pretty decent table here. I do recognize some of the people to start off with. We have, I guess I should go ahead and pause the video real fast, even though I'm not really discussing any of these hands so far. But what we have is D-Fish here, who's a really good player. What I've seen, he's got a pretty tight style, but he also is totally willing to switch it up and make moves. He does a lot of like floats where he will call the flop with absolutely nothing in position and then just try to take it away later on. So I'll look for him to do some stuff like that. I don't think I get involved in too many pots with him, though. He's definitely not one of the players at the table I'm looking to get involved in with some of these other weaker players that are at the table. SE Noodle is also a good player. He plays mostly the medium stakes, but he's been getting into the more high stakes tournaments, and he definitely has a good game, a little bit more tag as well. Sharebone, it's our friend over at DragtheBar. You might know him as Brent Sharebone, the coach, the other coach, or one of the other MTT coaches over at DragtheBar. So we got him at the table. We'll get to see what's going on with him. I don't really know his hands. It'd be pretty cool if we somehow found a way to find out his hands so we could show his hands too during this time, but I'm not going to worry about that for right now. We also have Poker Devil over here, who has been making his way up into the rankings lately. He's got a very good, I'd say more loose aggressive style. He definitely mixes it up and makes some moves, and he does play well, though, so we're not going to be looking to get too involved with him. I believe I've played with Matsons before, and he's kind of a pretty spewy, aggressive type European player that will definitely just be firing away at pots and stuff like that from what I remember. I don't know too much about any of these other players. I was playing a few other tournaments, so I didn't really have the time to look up their DBs to see if they satellited in or anything like that. I wasn't really that worried about it at this time. Maybe later on I'll start to do that kind of stuff when I have an actual chance at getting to the final table, but at this point I'm just basically going to watch and kind of assume that people that I don't know aren't going to be the strongest players until they prove otherwise in other pots. But you never know. You can be surprised sometimes. Right away, we already see this Randy Rio player. He's been playing a few pots already and being very aggressive in them, so that's something good to note. I did go ahead and fold the Queen Jack there. I probably would have played it to a min raise if it was suited, but I just don't really see the point in playing it in a big multi-way pot when it's not suited. It's just one of those hands that can get you in trouble if you flop top pair. Then you just never know if you have the best kicker, and just the kind of hand that has some pretty bad reverse implied odds, meaning that when you do make your hand, you still don't know where you're at, and you can actually end up losing more chips when you do make your hand. So